Welcome to the Big Fore for February. Here with Marco again. Marco, women's golf coming to town.
Mate, how good is the women's golf tour looking just at the moment? They go to America, they go to Europe, they've got players coming out of Asia. We're going to Asia as well, and now they're coming down to Victoria Golf Club. A couple other big events down here as well. The Vic Open they're taking on. They've got the men and the women playing down at 13th Beach. I reckon they've got it, they're the direction. They have got the one opportunity to see a world tour, a truly world tour. And the fact that they've got some of the best players, some top 10 players, I think we've got about 5 top 10 players in the world coming down to play the Australian Open at Victoria Golf Club. Mate, they are killing us.
They're on the money, aren't they?
They are killing us. And I think it's only one way for the women's tour, and that is up.
So the women's golf tour is looking good, but what about the men's, Mark? I know it's a bit of a bugbear of yours.
Well, the Australian golf tournaments, I've had enough. It's over. Right, it is over. One Asia is history. Our tournament's trying to get into some kind of Asian tour is history. There is one direction for our 4 big ones to go, and even New Zealand as well. We've got the Perth International, we've got the Australian Open, we've got the Australian Masters, the Australian PGA, and also a New Zealand Open or a New Zealand PGA. They're 5 fantastic events. They deserve a home. Not a home on a One Asia tour or even in the Asian tour. They need a home on the second biggest tour in the world.
So you're thinking European?
European tour we have to go to. Now, you know, the dream of Australian golf is to have 25 fellas playing the US tour. But now, with the US tour starting in October, I mean, are you kidding us? You know what's going to happen? Apart from our big stars, they've all got to get off to a cracking start in October. That's why we're not going to see, or we didn't see, Robert Allenby this year. He's got one chance left on the US tour.
Yeah.
That's right, so he's got to start playing in October, which means he's not going to come and play our events. So what we have to do is get on the European tour, change our events from November, December to right after February. So February, maybe March, and then the European tour can progress right through the Arab states and Asia. It's the only place for our tournaments to go, I promise you that.
Jump on board.
All right, Damo, let's get into your world now. We've got a new handicapping system. Now, we've had the American system for a while, but now they've introduced this slope. Do you understand what it's about? Is it going to help us?
Yeah, I won't go into exactly how it works because it is a little bit convoluted, but I must say that for someone who has generally been pretty critical of all the little tweaks and the little changes they've done over the last few years with the handicapping system, this one, I reckon, is going to work.
So basically, you know, you're a member here at the Box Hill Golf Club, which is a fantastic little golf course in suburban Melbourne, just a fantastic place to play. But if you went to a really tough golf course, say something like Moona Links, which was built for Australian Opens, if your handicap of, what is it these days?
Oh, well, we don't want to say.
Well, if it's 15, if it's 15 here, what would your handicap be at a really tough course?
And that's the part about it that's going to make it interesting because at a more difficult course, obviously your handicap's going to be higher.
And that's the slope.
And that's because of the slope.
So they take into things like what, trees and length of golf course, deepness of bunkers, quick greens, wind, all that kind of stuff.
All that sort of stuff. So basically, it sets it up for a much fairer system, and we'll see. You know, over time, we'll see whether it works out as well as we think it's going to play. But I think you're going to get less of the banditry at these events, a lot of these golf days, mate.
No bandits.
Well, I won't say no.
Impossible.
Bandits, but less bandits. All right. The big question this month for me, Marco, is Rory McIlroy, a sook.
What's he sooking about?
What's he talking about?
What's he done? I know he got a 2-shot penalty, but he deserved the 2-shot penalty because if you're in ground under repair, you've got to take complete relief.
If you listen to Rory, he'd be telling you that he was a little harshly done by there.
Why? What happened?
Well, he was put in it, some might say, by his caddy, playing partner's caddy, Larathabel, however it's pronounced. Larazabel, if you want to be the Aussie twang. There you go.
What we're talking about.
Put in it by his caddy.
So hang on a second. Larazabel wins the tournament, but his caddy sees an opportunity to put him in. Now, I think you've got the question back to front. I think this is an ethical thing.
On whose behalf?
Well, mate, if Larazabel's caddy has seen Rory McIlroy with a foot inside the ground under repair and then played the shot, if he had time to say, hey, Rory, don't play that shot because you'll get a 2-shot penalty, well, he should have.
No, surely it's his caddy. It's Rory's caddy.
Yeah, I agree.
JP Fitzgerald. He should have been the one saying, hey, Rory, mate, you're out of it. Or Rory should know the rules.
Rory should know the rules. JP should know the rules. It's handy if you've got a caddy that actually knows the rules because sometimes, you know, if you're in the heat of battle, you can forget stuff. And you know, the story was Rory ball was on a crosswalk. Yeah. He probably didn't think it was the same rules ground under repair, but in tournaments, crosswalks are treated just like ground under repair. So he's probably thought it was maybe a different situation. But I'm telling you, if Larazabel's caddy has seen it and thought, oh, I'll just put this in my pocket and tell the officials after the round, then you're a dog, Lorizabel's caddy. I don't know who you are, but that's the wrong thing to do in this game. You put your hand up and you do the right thing at the right time.
I'm not with you on that one.
Really?
It's got to surely it's not for the player to worry about other oppositions.
Yeah. In another sport.
Yeah,
if you're playing
fair
footy,
enough.
right? But this is golf. Golf, backbone, prides itself in being a gentleman, being sportsmanlike. And there's a great opportunity for our sport to raise itself above all the other dog sports out there that cheat and cheat and cheat. Golf doesn't cheat. We're not a dog sport. You do the right thing, Lorizabel's caddy. I don't know who you are, but you have done the wrong thing.
Does this sound like a former player having another crack at a caddy?
It is. Well, caddies, mate, they're misfits
It's
at
always the
best.
caddies.
They're misfits at best. Hey, that's the Big Four. We'll see you next week.
Next time.